Hi, this is Councilwoman Friedman.
Good evening.
Ready, Lee? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the day two, session two of our budget hearings for City Council. We're going to do the pledge for this session, then we'll get right into the work session after. So if everybody can say something and do the pledge, we'll get going.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic
for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty
liberty
and justice for all.
Thank you. Lee, can you take a roll call for us?
Yes. Councilman Scaringi,
Present.
Councilwoman Riley,
Present.
Councilwoman Friedman,
Present.
Councilman Burns,
Present.
Councilman Strawn,
Present.
Councilman Scanlon,
Present.
President Rusnetti. That's all 7 here.
Okay, thanks, everyone. We're going to get right into it. We got about 45 minutes before the work session. Mr. Shager says that we should have plenty of time to get through these, so we'll get right to it. We have John with us, right? Okay, John is with us. I'm going to formally open pages 19 and 20. Both of these pages are operating expenses. So we'll open those pages and for the treasurer's budget. John, feel free to start.
Good evening, council persons. So it's a good news from the treasurer's office. There's really no changes from 2021 to the 2022 budget, except in the salary, personnel services. There was an increased adjustment from year to year, and which was previously approved by the council earlier this year for a shift of additional responsibilities from the water sewer department to the treasurer's office. The other expenses remain the same from year to year. Just merely a reclass in dollars from the different expense categories due to changes in fees and costs during the year expected for next year compared to this year. Any questions?
Anyone have any questions for John on the treasurer's budget? Okay, would somebody like to make a motion to call pages 19, 20 and approve those?
So moved.
Second.
Second, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, that was good. Thanks, John. All right. Okay, while Sharon gets settled, I will open page 28, all operating for the personnel civil service portion of our budget.
Good evening. Thank you, council. My name is Sharon Sorkin. I'm the Director of Personnel and Safety, as well as govern the civil service budget. There have been minor changes to our budget from last year, mainly in the areas of office supplies, and things of that nature. Something you may see immediately is that there's appears to be a change in salary between 2021 and 2022. The prior director left, and that amount was used for their payout. 81.4 is market rate for somebody in my position. I'm not taking a pay cut. So that's just to clarify for the record there. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to take them. Councilman Friedman.
Go ahead.
Thanks. Hi, Sharon. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
Next to some of the lines in the personal services, there's an A in parentheses. Can you explain what that means?
The A, Aviva, is appointed positions.
Okay. And thank you. And my other question was that I noticed a significant decrease in legal ads and advertising. Can you shed a little bit of light on that budget line that's reduced to about 1/3 of what it was?
Sure. Advertising used to take more effort and more funds back in the day. And this was kind of a budget line that hadn't been updated to reflect that. So for example, now with services such as social media, like Indeed, Glassdoor, there's several in the legal field as well, LinkedIn, we just don't have the need to pay for advertising. Even the New York State Bar Association will advertise for nothing. So legal ads, that was primarily for the Office of Corporation Counsel, that was incorporated into this budget. I'm confident that we'll be able to meet our advertising requirements in the amount of $300. And I believe that that adjustment is warranted in light of us all trying to tighten our bootstraps during this budget season.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
Sure.
Any other questions for Sharon?
Awesome job, Sharon, as always. If there are no other questions, I'll make a motion to approve page 28.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, page 28 is approved. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you for your time and your service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have Margaret is here. So we just talked a minute ago. I'm going to open pages 1, page 22, and pages 209 to 210. And she reminded it last year it worked well. We did the assessed valuations, then the exemptions, and then we did the operating expenses on page 22 last. So go ahead, Margaret, and get us started. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Margaret Myers. I'm the city assessor. I'm Margaret Myers. I'm the city assessor. All right. On page 1 is the assessed valuation. The base proportions are according to the New York State standard of methodology. And on the left side of the page, you have real property, public service, and go on. Real property is the regular property that people live in, the houses, the things that are taxable, commercial property that are taxable. Number 2 is the public services, which is the utilities like NICEAG. 7, railroads is the railroad ceilings, which is state is the one who does the assessed value for us and tells us what they are. The next one is special franchises, which is the fiber optic, telephone wires, and things like that. And then you have the wholly exempt, which is the city properties, New York State properties, Rome County properties, churches, schools, and nonprofits. Do you have any questions about those? No? On the bottom of the page is the adjustment phase portions. That is a list of what the tax rate is for the city since 2003 on. And it looks like this year it's going to be exactly the same tax rate as last year. Do we have any questions on page 1? All right, would you like to go to page 209, which is the exemptions? (209) and 210 are all the different type of exemptions in the city. They are including New York State property, city property, veterans exemptions, nonprofits. From about, let's see here, 3/4 the way down, there is 41101 on up. Those are different exemptions that are nonprofits, the city, and everything. Everything below that line are veterans exemptions for individuals, paraplegics, clergies, age exemptions, which are 65 and older, business exemptions, and et cetera. And from that line down is a total of only 1.41% of everything. Do you have any questions about the exemptions? 1.41% out of 34.83%. Yeah. What's your question? I don't remember your name.
Go ahead, Councilwoman Friedman.
Oh, thanks. Hi, Margaret. Thanks for being here. I had a question on the next page, 210. Can I ask that, or I can wait? I'm sorry.
No, you can go ahead.
Okay, I just noticed that there's a blank all the way at the bottom. It says amount, if any, attributable to payment in lieu of taxes. So none of these have anything to do with pilots.
No. You mean the last line? No.
Yeah, it was left blank. There was no, it didn't say $0. So I just wanted to check that that I was reading that correctly, that none of these are pilot related.
No, none of these are pilot related.
Okay, so the blank could say $0 in it.
Correct. Since
Okay.
none of this is pilots.
Gotcha. Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions regarding exemptions? All right. Then we can go to page 22 on my budget. There really haven't been any changes. I think overall, it looks like it might have gone up maybe $500 because we rearranged some lines. For example, the bar members, which is a professional services, the grievance, we have 4 members instead of, we'll have 3 members instead of 2, so it's gone up. Appraisal's gone up. Services, that's when we have court search, when different companies, commercial properties don't agree with their assessment, so they're going to go to court. Traveling and training is staying the same because I have 2 new employees, which will be doing a lot of training in the next couple of years. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same. Any questions regarding my budget? Yes.
Is it, so I can't tell if that's
Yes.
not, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm using my phone, so I only see myself a little bit in the corner. So I was wondering if if you could speak to your thoughts on maybe a citywide reassessment, how much that might cost, if you feel like it's necessary. I know that the last time the entire city was reassessed, I believe was in the 90s. And so if you do feel like that could be something that you think would benefit the city, how much you think that might cost. If, I know it's not necessarily incorporated into this budget, but if you had any ideas or thoughts about a citywide reassessment.
Eventually, we will have.
Excuse
to
me,
do a
Mr.
C-
Excuse me,
Yes?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
Councilor Strawn, I believe we should just keep this to the budget right now. If she'd like to come down and talk about this some more time in a work session, I think it's appropriate. I think we should talk about the budget right now. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Well,
just finish your answer very briefly, and then we'll have Margaret come back to a work session. That's a fair question, but I just want to make sure we have plenty of time for purchasing again. But go ahead and just do that very briefly, and then if we need to, we'll have you come back down.
Eventually, we will have to do a citywide reassessment. We won't have a choice in the matter. Right now, with everyone spending over the purchase price of any of the houses, you might want to wait down until it settles down a little bit before you do a reappraisal. Otherwise, everyone's going to be overassessed when everything goes back down.
do you have maybe a rough idea of when you foresee that happening? Like, do
I'm
you think
hoping
maybe
at least in the next year.
next year?
I'm hoping for it settling down. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe that might be something that we could work into the budget for next year potentially.
It's going to take more than just one, because you have to get a grant from New York State. Last I heard was at least $15 per parcel, but I don't know what the rate is right now. And we have almost 16,000 parcels.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody have any questions, other questions on the budget portion of the assessment?
Mr. President, motion to approve pages 122, 209, and 210.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone
Aye.
opposed? Anyone opposed? Okay, thank you. Okay, Billy, you're here, right? Ready to go? All right. We will now open pages 21 and 41 and 42. This is the purchasing and central services. 21 is very brief, then 41 and 42 is the operating portion. So why don't you start with do it whichever order is best for you.
All right.
Okay.
Good
Okay.
evening. I'm Billy Goodson, purchasing agent. I'll start with purchasing on page 21. There hasn't been much of a change. I did reduce the legal ads by $250 because there wasn't the same need over the last 3 years. And I added $50 for a membership to Sampo. Any questions? Yes.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm assuming that's me again.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Billy. Thank you for coming. Can you tell us what Sampo is?
It's
And
the State Association of Municipal Purchasing Officials.
Okay. And is there a reason why we're seeking membership this year when it looks like we haven't done that in the past?
It's actually a good forum for me to discuss purchasing with other officials in the state. It'll keep me up to date with different things that go on in purchasing, changes with the state.
Aviva, also on that, Billy just took the position in February this year. The prior purchasing person was here for probably 15 years experience. So this is a big help to assist Billy going forward with contacts and different things that may come up.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Anything else on page 21? Okay.
Moving on to page 41, central services. There haven't been many changes. Personal services is going down by approximately $10,000 because I currently have a vacant position, and when it's filled, it'll come in at a lower Teamsters rate. There was an increase to postage, which is affecting my postage line. And there's a little bit of an increase to telephone system repairs because of vacant positions. We've had to reprogram phones. And hopefully next year we'll fill them so I can program them back. Any questions?
Go ahead, Councilwoman Freeman.
Thank you. I am curious, I'm looking under the telephone fax internet line, and I see that the internet service for forensics lab is a separate line from the other internet service and internet at City Hall. Can you just tell us why those are three separate lines?
Councilwoman Friedman, this is Lori in IT. There's a separate line for the internet service for forensic lab because the work that they do in investigations doesn't run through the city network. So we have a separate connection for them. The internet at City Hall is one line. The internet service is internet service to our remote facilities. So we just list them separately so it's easier for us to keep track of.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone have any other questions on pages 41 and 42 for Billy?
I'll make a motion to approve pages 21, 41, and 42.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, great job. We got through these sections. We have about a little over 20 minutes till we meet again. So we will adjourn the day 2, session 2 of the budget hearing.
Do we need a motion?
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second.
Thank you. Now we gotta sit here for 20 minutes.